When Lauren was born, it was just like a brick thrown at you, because I thought because she was disabled that she would automatically get help because she was disabled. That's not the way it works. She is already in her second million in surgeries. They still try to cut her off every year. Tennessee Justice Center has been Lauren's guardian angel.
I cannot tell you how much I love this child. My whole time is like a roller coaster. At least every week or every month, I will get something from TenCare or Department of Intellectual Disability. All of them denying. Anytime I turn around, it has happened so many times. I will be even scared to go and open my mailbox. Tennessee Justice have never represented Binta in a case that I have lost, because they are genuine cases. I didn't have Tennessee Justice in our lives, in Binta's life, I would not be sitting here talking to you today.
In 2000, I received my master's degree in computer information systems from Middle Tennessee State University. Without Tennessee Justice Center, I wouldn't be able to be an independent working citizen, because I wouldn't have the people I need.
TenCare wanted everybody to go into a nursing home, sell your home, and we'll take care of you in a nursing home. And Dora and Michelle said, no, that's not right. And we found out if you received home health care services, it was in a realm of anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000, $15,000 a year. Went to a nursing home, they paid $60,000 to $90,000 a year. So why couldn't you have a choice? I'm glad my name's associated with it. Glad, it's a little overwhelming at times. Go online and see this Newberry case versus the state. Wow, I did that, or I was part of that. I was part of it, all it was. It was more Gordon, Michelle, and a lot of other people volunteering to stand up for what's right.
I have 4 kids. My girls have CDKL5, which is a genetic disorder, and then I have twin boys who are 2. My girls are my heart and soul. My boys run me ragged. In 2009, the state of Tennessee took away our TenCare. Medications were costing us $10,000 a month for each girl. The medication was to prevent the seizures, which wasn't working totally, but it helped to keep them from having probably 50 to 100 a day. So we maxed out our credit cards within 2 months, and we didn't know where to turn. The Tennessee Justice Center saved our well-being, our life as a family.
My favorite remembrance of the Tennessee Justice Center is on an awful day in 2010 during the national flood, when we found out we had lost our home. It is because of the Tennessee Justice Center, the great lawyers at Lower Lanston, Deutsch and Davis, and the hundreds of people who helped us make up the mortgage deficit and much more, that we still have our home. We can never forget that.
1983, I had a hysterectomy, and they gave me blood that was contaminated with hepatitis C. In 2012, my health just kept declining, and I went into hepatic and renal failure. For 2 weeks, I was in the intensive care unit with this hospital in Nashville. They were keeping my kidneys going and keeping me alive. And then whoever does the money part for the hospital told me that my insurance was not adequate. They come in the intensive care room and sent me home, pulled out all my lines, everything. And of course the doctors, the nurses, the interns, the residents were crying. So they basically sent me home on hospice to die. So on May 24th, when I was sent home, if Tennessee Justice Center had not helped me, that's the day I would have died.
I know how the Tennessee Justice Center changed my life. In 1998, they filed a class action lawsuit on my behalf and 28 others, which changed the laws and allowed me to receive care at home. That not only improved my quality of life, but my longevity of life. I mean, who wants to go in a nursing home when they're 22, 23 years old?
In 2005, the Tennessee Justice Center helped my son get a communication device so that he could communicate with the world. And soon thereafter, we were able to also get one for my daughter. It's changed their life to be able to communicate, and we hope that it helps other people in the state of Tennessee as well.
I love you.
I love you too, Austin.
I see these families on a long-term, regular basis. That's very frustrating when a system threatens to have such a negative impact on their lives after they have spent years and years and years sacrificing to get to where they are, and then just because of an arbitrary decision, they're put at risk.
We knew that he needed to be in the NICU because he was early, but it wasn't until about 3 or 4 weeks later, and he was diagnosed with Prader-Willi syndrome. I'm getting these bills, and it's like $368,000. I kept calling the billing department saying, look, TennCare is supposed to kick in. And about 3 months into this, they're like, TennCare is not going to kick in. You're going to owe this. And I kept calling the Tennessee healthcare hotline, and they kept saying, oh, it's still processing. It's still processing. This went on for weeks and weeks. They're counting on people not having the mental energy to fight back. When everything came through, it was because of those resources of the attorneys and that Gordon brought to the table. I sent this long, thankful email to Gordon from the bottom of my heart, because I know everybody else would have given up on us.
In 1999, my son Emmanuel was dropped from TennCare, been diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Here's my son, my first son, my firstborn, and now I can't give him what he needs. And as a father, that was really tough. He wouldn't be here now if it hadn't been for Tennessee Justice Center providing the resources and services we need. And the thing I like the most about it, they took it personally. Emmanuel is doing great. He's a miracle. And I contribute that miracle, 19-year-old, to people who've invested in his life, like Michelle and Tennessee Justice Center.